I've been doing this since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to talk to the pretty blue people and pretty white people.
Oh, that was what you called them.
The angels.
And I was just about to say,
I'm
you're
angels.
an angel healer.
I'm
right?
an angel healer and
right.
angel communicator.
That's right.
I really focus in more on angels, though I work a lot with the spiritual team.
Okay. So people that have passed?
Well, yeah. Well, we all have spiritual teams. Like
Okay.
you have guardians. You have guardians. Do you guys believe in guardian angels?
I'm starting to right. Yeah. I mean, yes.
Well,
I'll
you
say
have
yes.
2 and you have 3.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, all right.
So you have 2 guardians and you have 3 guardians. Now, some have 1, some have 2, some have 3. It doesn't really matter. But I did this to the brother and sister team. It's like you have 2, you have 3, and I never should have said that because then the brothers would go,
Right.
you only have
I'm
2.
already more confident.
I'm like, I'm better than you. And I'm like,
Right.
that's not how it works. But guardian angels actually work with you. They don't work with anybody else.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're assigned to you. They're helping you on your life journey.
Mhm.
So you can talk to them, and that's what I teach people. I teach a lot of
How
classes.
to communicate with them.
How to communicate
Okay.
with your angels, your guardians. They're there 24/7. They're your BFFs. So wouldn't it be fun to get to know them? And you start to develop this really cool rapport with them that you start to see these everyday miracles in your life.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it's there. So I teach people. I teach classes. I've been teaching for about 4 years now on how to intuitive development, on how to connect with your guardians. Then you have archangels, and I'm only there's thousands of levels of angels. I'm just saying
okay, yeah,
really
sure.
basic.
Yeah.
Then
yeah.
you have archangels, which I work a lot with too, that are omnipresent. They can be with everybody at the exact same time.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
So I was talking to my angels since I was a little girl. I just didn't know that they were angels.
Yeah.
I knew I had that they were the pretty blue people and white people. They would show up to me in blue and white form.
Wow.
And
So essentially, you have kind of a hypersensitive way. Forgive me if that's the wrong term,
No,
but
it's fine.
that you can talk to them, I guess, directly. Yeah?
yes, but everybody can.
Oh, okay.
So some people come into this world that are a little bit more in tune with it. Some people are in tune with it, they just don't know they're in tune with it, and they think they're nuts or they're crazy, which they're not. They're just having these really remarkable experiences and don't understand them. And that's where I come in as a teacher to say, hey, wait a minute, it's okay. You can talk to your angels. It's okay, they're there, and you're not crazy, you're not nuts, because all these experiences you've already been having that's them talking back, and
Right.
they're like, oh, really? And we go into meditations and things like that, so they can better understand how to connect with their angels.
And forgive me again if I don't know the correct verbiage here,
Don't worry
but
about
would you say that these angels are from God? And
Messengers.
Okay, messengers.
Yeah, angels are messengers of God. So a lot of
Okay.
people get confused. They're like, well, what about God? I'm like, well, bring him into the conversation if you want to. It's no big deal. I'm like,
Right.
talk to everybody.
Right,
We got Michael, we got Raphael, you got your
Yeah.
guardians, and
Yeah.
then so I say spiritual team because it's the guardians and
I
the
like
archangels.
That. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And then it's the ascended masters, which is another category of a spiritual advisor. Then you have spirit guides. Have you ever heard that term?
I have. That's actually the one that I've heard.
Yeah, spirit
I
guides.
guess I've heard guardian angel, but
Yeah.
spirit guides.
Spirit guides are spirits that are guides that you've probably known in a past life if you believe in that stuff.
And is that for when you have passed on? Is that when you really start your relationship with your spirit guide?
No,
or
they can.
That can be here as well.
They can be here.
Oh,
they can
okay.
be like grandma. Grandma, you're very close to grandma. Grandma
oh.
passes.
Yeah.
Then grandma evaluates her life. You have to go through the life
Yes,
process.
that's the stage I've heard.
You have to go through that life review process.
Yes.
That's why when people, they're like, well, why isn't grandma talking to me? I'm like, give her a chance. She just moved. It's like,
Right.
let her acclimate to her new surroundings. She'll come
Yeah.
back. You
Yeah.
know, it's like you got to give at least 6 to 8 months in Earth time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
If there's an actual.
Well, that's what I
Right, yeah,
utilize.
right.
I mean,
It's not 3 weeks.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I have talked to, I was just in New York doing massive amounts of readings, and I knew the woman when I was there in January doing another massive amounts of readings. She was there and she knew she was leaving, but she was started her process already. So
This
when
is an older woman?
An older woman. When I
Okay.
came back in May, she was gone.
Yeah.
So, and then I spoke to her husband. He was such a lovely person, and we were able to communicate with her, even though it was only a month's time,
Interesting.
because she already started the life review
Sure, so
process
she-
when she was
that
here.
makes sense, yeah.
She was so ready to go, and so at peace with the process. It was so nice to see.
Yeah, yeah. Sure.
So that can happen, but usually I wait about, I always ask, they're like, can I communicate
How
with my
long has it
mom?
been?
And I'm like, how long has it been?
Yeah.
Because I can't, like tonight, I'm doing an event
Yeah, I
down
remember.
in,
Yep,
right.
yeah.
So we're doing gallery readings. So, because the spiritual team is what I look at, and that does include friends and relatives from the light, mediums.
Mhm.
But it's mediumship. So
Mhm.
I'm always like, I'm working with two mediums.
Mhm.
And I'm like, why does everybody want to talk to the dead
Actually,
relatives? They don't want to talk,
Would you-
everybody wants to talk to the dead relatives.
Would you not call yourself a medium?
I don't bill myself as that because my focus really is angels
Yeah,
and
it's-
understanding
that's
that,
interesting.
that connection.
Yeah, and that
But-
is. It seems like that's a pretty big distinction. You know,
right,
that
right. But I offer those services to
Mhm.
people so that when I'm also a Reiki practitioner. I
Mhm.
do energy healing.
Yeah, yeah.
And angel healing as well. So I always say, but I'm talking to your spiritual team. That's all in your aura. Like when I look into your auric energy, I can see all these energies around you, and that's why I can see the angels so clearly.
Mhm.
That's usually the first energy that I see.
Mhm.
And then I see the spirit guides, and as we go further, I can identify more energy.
And auras are colors? Is that how you...
Well, you have different energy centers around your body. You have the chakra system, which is the 7 energy centers in your body. I'm
Going
sure you've heard
down
of
the
that.
center. I
yeah.
have heard of that, yeah.
Right, 7 of them.
Yeah.
Then you have the energy field around your body, which
Oh,
is your
okay.
aura. And that could be huge, it could be small, it could be filled with colors, depending upon where. It's like a big mood ring for you.
Oh, okay.
You've heard of mood rings,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So you have like all these energies around you with all these colors that can kind of tell me how you're feeling, what you're dealing with, the business issues, personal issues.
And then we've also heard it can be opaque or transparent, right? And that can mean stuff. right?
That can, right.
Yeah.
And different people, such as myself, are going to utilize their gifts in different
Sure,
ways. So
of
we
course.
might use different terminology,
Yeah, yeah,
different,
yeah.
but the general feeling is the same.
Sure.
So, so I look into your aura energy and I'll see all that, but that does include, so like when I sit down with a client, I also tell them, I said, listen, if mom and dad that passed on are there, I will be sure to give the message because I see them.
Mhm.
I go, but I can't guarantee that, and most mediums will say that. It's like they're like you'll see the John Edwards or the James Von Proggs where they do. I hope my dad shows up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Dad's busy. He
Yeah.
might be doing stuff.
He's reviewing.
We think there's still an existence beyond this existence.
Mhm.
That where these energies are still moving forward and still doing their thing.
Mhm.
So they might not want to come through. And also you have to remember that if you look at levels of energy on the other side, is that angels I like to talk with because they're the clearest form. They've never walked the physical earth.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I guess.
Yeah. Now there's different stories and different things about
Sure.
that, but they can take human form at times.
Okay.
You hear the people in the car
Yeah,
broke
yeah.
down out
Yeah,
of the blue. This
yeah.
guy comes along.
Yeah.
That's an angelic energy.
Spirit guides have taken.
They've walked the
Right,
physical earth.
but- and
Spirit
they've-
guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they are in spirit now. Now they
Yeah.
could walk the physical earth with you in a past life.
Okay.
Okay? And then you decide that, okay, I'm going to come in human form, you're going to stay on the other side and then help me out. Let's say you're writing a book.
Mhm.
You can have a famous spirit guide work with you, like say, you'll have Archangel Gabriel, because she's in charge of all forms of communication.
Oh, Gabriel's a she?
Okay, now Gabriel, angels don't have energy.
Oh, okay.
I mean, don't have gender.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't have gender.
No, but they
Oh.
will appear to you the way you can
Oh,
receive
okay,
them.
okay.
So, like, if you see an angel, like, with beautiful long blonde hair, and
Mhm.
pig wings, and piercing blue eyes,
It doesn't necessarily mean.
and that's your idea of an angel. Guess
Yeah.
what? That's what you're going to see.
Oh, that kind of makes sense. Then. Have you been an angel healer?
Okay,
reader?
so I was, I'm sorry, I know I'm moving all over
No,
the
it's
place.
okay. I'm asking. you
You're a New Yorker. You can follow
That's
me.
right. I got you.
You follow right along. I was doing this as a kid, and then when in my high school years, I was saying a lot of things, and my friends I was freaking them out.
Yeah.
So, and I grew up in a family that was somewhat rigid, except for my grandma. She was very open, but
Okay.
they were rigid. So I really pushed a lot of the stuff away.
Sure.
And then in my 20s, I started to work with it a lot.
Okay.
And started doing other things, but always doing this on the side, and really just kind of keeping it on the side,
Mhm.
and reading friends and family, that
Yeah.
type of thing. Working with angel cards, I'm sure you've heard of them. I don't use cards any longer. So I was doing that for years, and then when I came to LA, if you looked at my bio, I used to stand up. Which I think really works well because it keeps it fun.
Sure.
Oh, yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you're dealing with something totally intangible, so you gotta make it fun.
Yeah.
So I was doing that out here, but then still pursuing it, and then probably I've been doing this professionally about 8 years.
Okay, cool.
Where literally they were really saying, come over here, and I'm like, no. They're like, come over here, and I'm like, no. And I mean, it was a real direct communication. And I started out, I was, these like opportunities to read people were just literally falling in my lap, like parties, graduation parties. Friends would be like, "Oh, I'm bringing 10 people over, come read them." All right. And
Wow.
and then I did work,
developed from there.
and I did work in a store.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't have your own store now, right?
No,
And
no.
so do you primarily do, is it visits? Do you have people over to your
Well, it takes
place?
on
Parties? I guess.
Yeah,
it
it
can
takes
take a lot
on
of
many.
different-
I have individual clients that come see me at my home. I do a lot of spiritual type of counseling, which is when you're dealing with angels, it's really all about healing. So definitely the predictive stuff, the future,
Yeah.
where's my relationship, my career, that type
It is
of
surprising.
thing.
It seems like a lot of it does have to do with healing, though.
It is all healing
Yeah.
because we all are. We're creating every second of every day. We're creating. So I always have to look at what blocks are in front of you, and that's where the angels can come in. They're like, well, there's this issue that if you don't remove it, it's gonna, not to say that won't happen, it's just gonna make it a little bit more difficult. So let's
Sure.
go work on the issue.
Sure.
So I have a lot of people come back on. I'll give homework. Always give homework. Go home and do this. But that opens up the door to understand yourself better and start that healing process.
Yeah.
I mean, this is designed. They're here to help you have a really cool life.
Mhm.
So why not,
Yeah.
utilize that?
Yeah.
So